exactly. I don't have to say it anymore.
Little late, but our sound looks okay, right?
Yeah, I checked.
Of
I was
course.
looking at it, and it looked okay to me. Yeah, arc to arc. It's
To arc, to arc,
it's
to arc.
it's Kagi or whatever the fuck. Kani.
What?
What do they call him? They call him
what
Kani or Kong or something. They got a new nickname for him.
Congo.
No, his name is Congo. In the official translation, they start calling him Kani.
Oh.
Konny. And there's a little, there's even a little extra comic about how one of the gems can't call him that yet, and she has like a little meltdown. Jeez, guys, did you even read the fucking manga?
It wasn't, that part wasn't included in
Really?
my scans.
I pretended to.
I'm using the official. Yeah, they all start giving him a silly nickname because they love him so much. Yeah. Anyway,
the nickname
Connie.
thing is there, but it's like a derivative of adamant.
Oh, okay, that's a different one. Okay.
It's Adami or something.
Yeah. Well, here he is, the man, the legend.
The legend, the myth.
I mean, he kind of is.
He is. I like the detail that he started, at least the first one, he started like powdering the gem because the gem wanted to look like him. That's kind of cute.
Yeah, I mean, we get this sort of, I don't know, almost annoying reveal that they're like all drawn to him because they're still part human and he was constructed that way.
Not only that, but that he also emits like a love ray that makes
that's what I mean.
Yeah. Oh well, I thought okay, I thought it was just because he looked like a human. But
I'm slightly skeptical if there's a chance that that's a lie.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it is, but part of me wonders if it could be.
Both there are two really big like what you thought to be feelings turn out to be something else reveals in this part, and they're both made by whatever his name is, Adakmi or however you pronounce it.
The prince.
Yeah, with this and with the ghost eye thing, they both seem like suspicious.
Yeah, which is really cool.
But then once a person's but then they seem to be real just because once a person is like aware of it, it kind of does change how they act, which is strange because you don't want to like explain away like emotional like it's weird that it explains away like you think Cairngorm acts the way he does because of like love and respect and like a dying wish of Ghost, but then it's like no, she's literally controlling you through your eye, like you had no choice in this. And same with the gems, it's like it seems like they like and protect Kongo Sensei because they love him, but if it's like an artificial love ray that he has no choice in, then it's like So I wonder what the author is going to do with that.
I completely forgot that this was even a thing.
Okay.
So I blocked it out completely. Like with Adamant, I don't really like that reveal, but it doesn't really like play a role. It just continues going like it always has.
Yeah.
And with Ghost and Cairngorm, I do really like it. Like it's presented really, really well.
I do enjoy
like,
the
cool imagery.
Yeah, that's like a fucked up bit where like Ghost shows up and like almost like breaks Cairngorm into pieces and is like dragging her away or him away or whatever. Yeah,
I think we can say her now.
We can say her from now on. The
chosen the gender.
That's true. Well, yeah, I like how they do it with Sensei, where he like tries to say stuff, but he almost gets like bleeped out. Like in my version it just puts like ... but he's like trying to explain stuff and it just comes out as like nothing and he's like fuck. It is cool.
Yeah,
kind of reminds me of Hisoka in York New Arc.
Oh yes, yeah,
where Hisoka is faking, but they go through the whole thing of Crollo trying to do a bunch of computery statements to figure out if Hisoka is possessed or not.
He says he would die instantly if he revealed the thing, which is not true, but it could have been. Yeah, very good artwork. I do like Kongo's whole like dynamic where he's just like he just feels like really self-conscious and he's like encouraging everyone to go to the moon and being like I'm a piece of shit and I suck and everyone's like we still like you. Anyway, it's funny that he yeah, like this comes up a lot where his machine, he is meant to be like a servant, like his coding is subservient, but so far he's acted in the opposite way, and he said it's been like really hard for him to act like he's like a leader and a hard ass when really he could never really have done anything. Like he was just like
it's a funny line.
Yeah, so it's like a
the
clever
hardest thing I had to do is to like frown all the time.
That's
or something
right.
Like that.
And
furrow his brow.
And he pats
because he's a natural servant.
He pats on the head. He has the ability to pat on the head.
Which is all the varying gloves.
Yes. So
these chapters make me really like U-Class again. Like I'd sort of forgotten how interesting of a character she is.
U-Class,
like
that's the one who says like let's start over, and the one who tries to talk to Foss. Yeah, she's cool. Yeah. I mean, I find it hard to keep track because there are so many fucking gems now. Like there are already a lot to begin with, but we've gotten and lost and switched around so many that it's become a bit hard to keep track. Like I keep forgetting who is on the moon. I think. Did Daya go to the moon with them at the start? But I totally missed that. I thought just Yellow Diamond was up there, and then like because I don't know. I think I confused Daya with someone else, and there's like a lot of them. It's hard to keep track.
Daya went because she wanted to be where Box is not.
Yeah, I remembered her having like a thing. I just totally forgot it was her, and it doesn't help that like. Lots of characters keep changing hairstyles. Like, it doesn't happen all the time, but, like, Amethyst does it, Bork does it. We have
the time skip, right?
Yeah, like, and it's, like, really hard to keep track when everyone has the exact same face, and they have different outfits, but they keep changing their outfits constantly, too. So it's like, wait, which one's which? And without the colors again, once again. Yeah, it's hard. But oh well. Man.
Yeah.
What does everyone think about the whole romance thing?
I thought it was surprisingly okay.
Yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of it.
I thought it was surprisingly cute, but it's hard to shake off how like kind of creepy it is too. The fact that he is like, because he's like a lot. I mean, I know this is obviously I'm not that kind of guy anyway, but like it's funny considering the timescales that he's like incredibly ancient. Compared to him, like Karen Gorn is very young, and she's like very small too, and it seems like he's kind of grooming her in a weird way. Like I don't know. Obviously, everyone is like here as an adult and can make their choices, but it considering how much of a genius he is, there's definitely like some power play. Like weird dynamics here, and when we get the reveal that like it seems like he just helps this gem out of like solidarity and like reveals the whole ghost thing and like helps them out, but then it turns out that he's had his eye on Karen Gorn from the start and like preserved their arm and stuff, so it has like a premeditated cold like calculating quality to it that is unsettling and not like a typical romance, so it's very weird. And how quickly they're like immediately besotted with each other. Strange.
I understand that, and I think it's definitely meant to be... I think
it's on purpose, yeah.
I think it's definitely meant to be kind of weird and a little creepy, but more creepy in the sense of the whole situation is creepy, not, any one character is that bad.
Yeah. Karen Gorn doesn't seem to care that this is the man who ground everyone she's ever known into little pieces that can't be put back together.
Karen Gorn just turned into like a complete asshole, at least in regards
totally.
What's Foss. Like she's so unlikable.
No, she is. I mean, Foss is also pretty unlikable sometimes, just because she's become such a far removed like weirdo. But there's still enough of like I still agree with her mission. Like I want every one of the gems to be put back together and to live in peace. Yeah, she's just like this diva-ish asshole. Like she starts being like, "Oh, you're still here? Oh, I hate you're so annoying." She like smashes Foss's head for like no reason. Yep. Like, yeah, she's a huge prick. I mean, I'm happy that she can be like happy with this guy, but I wouldn't, not at the risk of like everything else going on, obviously. Also, do they have sex? Like, do the gems have orifices? Yeah. Like, I guess we don't know. I am surprised how far she went with like him deep like tonguing her. That was odd. There was even like a spit trail. He has like a really long tongue too, and it's also again the creepiness comes into play again because like she doesn't even understand what a kiss is. Like that's a weird dynamic to have someone like French kiss someone and like, huh? Why are you inspecting the inside of my mouth? How strange, lol. And to be like, I'm not so sure about this. Yeah, I do.
I'm
love
also
the
not
outfits,
totally
though.
sure how. I'm not totally sure what he's getting out of this. It honestly seems to me more like they're going through the motions of romance, but they're so incompatible that
that's why it comes off as like weirdly icky. Like, does he can he even like have love for someone? Like, he seems more to see Karen Gordon as like a possession that's very precious to him, not like he's treating her like somewhat like a luxury car or something like that. You know, like it's like something where he's like infatuated with like her as an object almost, and obviously it's not like he's mean to her and he cares and he'll like give into her every desire and whim, obviously, but it's like it doesn't, because he's so like stone-faced and incomprehensible, it almost seems like she's more of like a pet that he's doting on, you know, than a romance between equals.
It's also interesting because I mean, I think what they're going for with the gems is this whole arc that they're on is the process of, you know, individuation and becoming an adult in a way.
Yeah.
Where they start at this place of total innocence, where they have an arbitrary authority figure that is totally incomprehensible to them, and they instinctively assume that he, you know, has their best interests at heart at all time. And it gradually works to where they still appreciate him, but they don't see him as infallible anymore. They see him as a very limited person. And so I think this weird, ill-conceived romance does play into those themes in a reasonable way. It's just hard to know how much we're meant to root for it, I guess.
What's funny to me about it, too, and I'm sure this is intentional, is the panel right when they're designing the clothes, which was funny in and of itself because I quite like the details of, like... for AI, I liked it was similar to Dungeon Meshi, where... in the manga, the people who have been in like an aging city, they also have gotten into like crazy outfit design because fashion has gone so far without changes. And I love that line where she like picks out one of the outfits and the designer says like, mind if I change everything about it? And she's like, no. And I was like, that's so real. But that's just extras. But I was gonna say, in that scene, she like nuzzles he like puts his hand on her face and she like nuzzles into it, and that's very similar to when she wanted like when Art Antark and Karen Gordon both like wanted Sensei to kind of give them like a pat. So it's funny because she just like switched out her figure of affection from the prince has become like the new Sensei on the moon, sort of like he's like the big, tall, larger than life father figure who knows everything and is in charge, and they've just like it's just like switch your token of affection. This whole stretch is kind of hard to read just because it's all good stuff, but it is like it's quite a mean-spirited, depressing stretch. Like multiple characters have like changes of heart into becoming like more cynical and cold-hearted. Like all the gems kind of like turn on like I get that Foss is like a traitor and stuff, but it is still harsh seeing them like think nothing of like dismembering her and strewing her body parts around like fucking Osiris or whatever. Bort is just like unilaterally cool with killing her. I mean, they were never the best of friends. What's her face? Like the scientist.
Rutio has gone completely crazy.
Roottail's gone a crazy murderer. Even Cinnabar is like attacking Foss and stuff.
No-sided with,
and the people on the moon, same. Like, Karen Gordon hates Foss now. The Yellow Diamond's just fucking out of it.
Also goes insane.
Yeah, a lot of them don't care about Foss, and the prince is like mean too. Like everyone's just kind of being mean and sad with each other. Like, and Kongo's the only one who's like nice, but obviously that's like his point as a program. It's sad. It's sad that things have gotten to this state. I mean, that's why Foss has to have a little cry to herself in the pod.
A few. Like this whole section is just Foss getting blown to bits emotionally and physically.
There's a lot of misery. She's coming. This is like the consequence of her actions finally. like it's always come to bite her back like slightly, but now her like inquisitiveness and how far she went with everything has really just destroyed all of her relationships. Despite how much of an asshole Karen Gordon is, they have a great line where they're like, you're going too far, and like you're damaging the only gems who still care about you in aid of trying to build a bunch of gems who are not even around. Like, most of them don't even know you. And as it turns out, we don't know this yet, but as it turns out, none of them will even remember Foss. Like, even if she can put Ghost and a bunch of other ones back together, like, their memories are lost. Or, I mean, at the time anyway. They keep having discoveries, so yeah, maybe there'll be like, oh, it turns out we can bring their memories back. You just have to do this.
We haven't mentioned it yet, but the reveal that gems below a certain hardness cannot be repaired, which includes an Antark and I think Ghost as well. So both the gems that Foss cares about the most cannot be brought back, and of course Foss's rear pieces also cannot be restored.
Foss keeps having to have like a slowly like acquiesce, slow defeat to everything she's told. Like, she just has to sigh and go, I understand. Like, it's not what I wanted, but if it's the only option, then I guess. And then it's like slowly worse. Now it's not just we'll put them together, but it's you have to kill all of the adamants to do it.
Like all of the adamants.
This sucks.
She's just
she's just like trying to hold on to any sort of like mild success she can grasp from how much she's sacrificed already for this vision. Like, she's ruined all of her relationships. She's fucking lives in this like, oh, what the hell, like crazy new weird world, and now she's the Admirables I had forgotten have like chosen her as like their like queen almost.
God.
Yeah, like God in a weird way. Yeah. And now there's like that really bad, I don't know why my page isn't loading here, but there's the scene where she like asks the Admirables to like give up their shells, and one of them tries to like rip its own casing off and is like in pain, and she's like, haha, just kidding. Oh fuck. Like, what?
So sad.
Yeah, this is just sort of like walking into walls, like dead ends everywhere. Everyone trying to the only people who are on her side are like people who are like on bizarre, almost like death missions, like
Paracha also is like weirdly aggressive.
She like feels she owes she owes Foss, and is like going to be really unemotional about this. What's her face? The one who like has to be blindfolded considers like turning herself. Yeah, Alexandrite considers turning herself like constantly fucking turned.
Into berserk state.
Into berserk state constantly just to be able to fight. I do appreciate always that she always puts in like a little explanation for stuff. Like, you could just say, oh, gems below hardness 5 can't be revived, and we can make you always berserk. But she goes through the trouble of explaining this whole like thing about how the lower density hardness gems have been like almost ground into like space dust through the hundreds of years, and she explains how the way that the Lunarian thing works isn't just psychological. It's like the light emitted by Lunarians bounces deep into the crevices of her and makes her gem turn red, so we can make it like a generator inside of you that will emit light. And they have the funny light candies too, which are cute, which are cool.
Yeah, that one's funny.
Yeah, so I like that she always like thinks, she's so like fascinated by like the science of her setting in such a satisfying way, where like no detail is left. Dude, could you fuck off with this website? No detail is left like unaddressed. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, with Foss crying in the spaceship, I was thinking, like, Alexa, play Disintegration.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, play Everybody Hurts. Foss that would be more of her taste, probably. Yeah,
Foss tries to talk with Adamant, and the first time it's just a small battle, and then she gets smacked by
she manages to activate. She seems the only one who can get Sensei to almost go into prayer mode, but then something always keeps him. What they have a reveal at the end is that his thing isn't really like, it's not a malfunction from like damage or anything. It's
Yeah, it's like a mental block.
Yeah, he can't, at the same time, he like loves these life forms and doesn't want them to go, and it's revealed that if he manages to pray, not only will the Lunarians turn to nothingness, every life form around the planet,
human-based life form.
Yes, exactly. So, like, every human-based life form will just get fucking yeeted into Phi and go live with the knockers. Yeah. Okay, I don't know why this is being a bitch. Yeah, Green, thoughts on thing? As my website breaks?
Yeah, I don't know why the website is breaking. We should...
Because
oh god.
They break.
Work on that. Yeah, it is odd. Props to this mangaka for, kind of having a plan past this point.
Yeah.
This is getting very, very, very fucking complicated at this point.
Yes.
To the extent it's kind of hard to even know what is going on or what we're supposed to care about. I will give their credit. Like, this could end like 50 different ways and make sense, and I have no fucking idea where they're going with this. It's obviously going to be kind of bittersweet.
For how much,
at the very minimum,
for how much of things have changed, they have just stayed the same though, because what's happening now is what's been happening for the past thousands of years. The Lunarians are trying to get Congo to pray for them. They've just like changed their methods still, but he just sees this as a continuation of their plan, and they're still continuing the normal like attacks on them. Like they still keep like throwing their crazy what might work tactics at them. Like, there are many funny lines in this. Specifically the union one.
The
labor union one. But there are many lines about how the wedding and so many things in this world have to be tailored because there's so much of a higher population on the moon, which is basically like millions of souls, that everything has to like account for the good of like the people, and everything has to be like decided by committee and vote and all this like complication. And there's a really funny thing about how the science guy, I forget his name, it's like Barnard or something stupid.
Barbata.
Barbata. How he's like, I'm just like a normal genius who's like good at one thing. The prince is like an uber mega genius who's amazing at everything, and so he's been put in charge of the worst task, the government. Like,
he's an interesting guy.
So like, really nothing has changed. Like, the gems protect Congo Sensei, even though they think it should be like the reverse. There's a cool diagram about how they're basically like arranging themselves around like as electrons would around the nucleus of an atom, and just to get them away. And then people the Lunarians are just trying to get him to pray. Like, there's insane time skips still happening. Like, Foss gets dismantled, and then 200...
Yeah, she goes alone and gets completely
200
destroyed.
years go past before Congo can reassemble her, which is very cute. I like that panel.
Man,
I like that thing about her playing the stupid phone game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, opening up, they're making the face like it's Foss again, and she gets immediately eviscerated. One funny thing that all these crazy shenanigans have led to is how far as everyone is being mean to Foss and liking her less. The one who was the actual recluse, Cinnabar, has been let more and more into like the gem like thing again after so many centuries of like living on her own. She keeps like blushing at how people find her like smart and useful. Like, that's kind of cute. Things are not going well. I find it we're kind of getting toward the end here. Like, we only have like 2 more volumes left, right?
Yeah, there's really not a lot of room for them to go.
I think it's like 3 volumes, but 2 arcs, I think.
I thought we read volume 10, but okay. Oh no, we started volume 10. You're right. We've read volume. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Yeah,
I like the image that you just showed with the swords, like all.
Oh, yes. This was one I took the time to screenshot. It's like the. Yeah, that's right, because all the gems attacked simultaneously. Kind of mean.
Yeah, she gets Caesared by them.
She does.
And
to Cinnabar.
The panels that just stuck in my head ever since, and I just randomly remember, are the Prey Machine for me.
Oh, yes.
Like, those scenes are just so burned into my brain. we get the next step of Foss's evolution, Eldritch Abomination.
Yes, she's like a weird.
We're a few stages into that, I think, but it's getting worse.
Well, yeah, she's like spiky mouth, like, and her whole texture
is pretty creepy.
Her texture is like cracked to shit, but she can she reassembles herself, but it's like all the pieces are like turned at like wrong angles or something. Like it's like how you would glue a piece together like wrong. Like she's so fucking fucked. And yeah, later at the very end of the stretch you told us to read, she turns into like this weird like spiked monstrosity where she's talking about how she's gonna grind the gems into little fucking bits. It's
and she it's implied that she was trying to destroy Cairngorm. Then the little dog turns into a bodyguard mode and smashes Foss.
That's right. Yes. I mean, it is unfortunate that she's so fragile, but she can at least do
the
some
little
damage.
idol concert was cute.
Yes,
that is,
Dia just does that. I love this illustration. I didn't have this in my official version. This is great. Yay! The party.
Yeah,
I like
Dia is an idol.
Cairngorm is up here. Yeah, she's become like an idol. Fucking what's her name? Like Boris or something. Like one of the ones is just like a skateboarder now. Like
Goshe is like weird. She like
there she is.
When she comes back, like one of the Lunarians says, "Oh, I haven't seen you since the prince's wedding," which means that Goshe just fucked off for 220 years.
Well, she was kind of doing that earlier, wasn't she? Yeah, she was like
anyone.
Caught in the background of a video, like riding on like some clouds. Like she's been having fun. Yellow Diamond's gone insane and thinks she's a Lunarian. She keeps like trying to fly and smashing herself. Like, why did the author created all these characters that just made them like go through different forms of like hell and isolation and emotional trauma just for her own amusement?
Do you see why I like this manga?
I do
a little bit. I'm getting there.
The one thing I have to criticize, since we are on it right now, is the escape of Foss is like a little confusing to follow. Like it doesn't look as clean or clear to.
Yeah, another part I found confusing was when they're first in Assault on Earth, when Cinnabar attacks, the panels were again sort of confusing, and it was hard to understand like what was going on, where she's like splashing Para with the mercury, but it looked kind of weird to me, and I couldn't tell like who was hitting who for a second. Like that's always been an issue in this manga. I don't mind because the artwork looks good, so it's okay if it's confusing, if it still is very pretty to look at, but it can take a second. But normally people explain afterwards what happens, like I don't understand how she doesn't explain how like the rutile going crazy made her hair like almost turn into human hair. Like it's turned into like really thin wavering strands.
Like palm from Hunter.
Yes. I do like her friend showing up and pulling out the bit and being like, here, you can learn how to fix me now and see how cool the Lunarians are. Yes, but I don't think I have that much to say about this stretch. It's more
it just ends with Foss saying, "Okay, I'm just going to destroy all."
Yeah, sadness and pain. It's just like explaining to us how the last of Foss's like memory and humanity got whittled down and crushed into nothing. Like her only friend became like a horrible asshole stranger. Everyone hates her now. They keep trying to kill her. She got put into like isolation for 200 years.
At the very end, though, she has a flash of memory of back when she was normal Foss.
Yeah, that was sad. And she cries gold tears. But I hope everyone in the manga well. And like Green said, I have no idea how this is going to end. The most simple, logical one would just be Kongo Sensei prays, and we get some sort of end of Eva sequence of everyone forgetting all their follies and foolishnesses of the flesh and getting sent to the afterlife. But who knows? So many things. Maybe they'll just all return to fun gem time. It'll be like a time loop. Like all the weird gems get crushed, the Lunarians don't achieve anything, and then you cut. It's almost like the beginning. Everything is like it was at the beginning of the series. Like nothing matters. Yeah, it's easy to forget that their goal is basically to achieve non-existence because they're all
like
Buddhists.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was this like hard-hitting scene with the what's the fucking word for it? The person who designs the clothes, the designer, who is congratulating Force on what she has achieved so far, and then it just hammers home, because this means we are closer to nothingness. So it's
yes.
Yeah.
There's a good line in
dying is the point.
Bort has a good line for her too, because Foss is arguing and saying that change is necessary, and Bort says you only say that because you were weak.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's almost like she keeps trying to find stuff to, I don't know, it's almost like she's trying to give her own existence value through these big tectonic shifts, just because she's the only one who's uncomfortable in the situation. Everyone else was fine. I mean, yeah, they all had little things they were annoyed about, like Daya and stuff, but all those things would have continued to exist, and maybe should have continued to exist if not for Foss's insecurity and meddling. It's a tough one. But yeah, let's see what this asshole who changes clothes constantly does next. Why does he do that?
I like that he can do it with his glasses too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I found it odd but kind of endearing how often he's in a hoodie.
Yeah. He his default for casualness is nerd, but wealthy tech nerd.
It's like Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes, exactly. Wealthy tech nerd. Yeah. He hangs around. I like his detail how he loses at the game to have it be even after 1,000 tries or something and stuff like that. He's like a light Yagami type. He's very strange. But okay. What's next on the chopping block?
To your eternity.
To my eternity? Okay.
To your eternity specifically.
I like this drawing a lot. This is a very cute drawing. Look at him go.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. It's not cute. Sorry.
No, I know.
Hey, Green, what do you think of him confessing to Mizuha? That was mean of her to draw the exact same.
It's good for him that he's done it, even though she basically knew it.
This panel is almost exactly the same as when we started the arc, remember?
Yeah, I was thinking, I've seen this before.
Yeah, that's when she pops into frame who are you talking about? My birthday is in April, don't forget, lol, hee hee hee.
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't appreciate this whole protracted... The one thing I didn't like about the stretch is this whole how much attention is given to them justifying the shenanigans of the running corpse thing, but then it's kind of just they have this whole thing about let's have a reverse hard story party, but then Bon and the Men in Black obviously just can solve everything on their own because they have unlimited resources and power. So
I think it's just to build up the stuff that Yuki and the occult club are trying to go public with.
I get that, but I think it's a bit that's not what this stretch is. The
necessary.
Stretch is so much more about Mizuha and the Men in Black than it is about them. But okay, I like how here he's stolen the guy's doll off his shoulder.
Oh, I haven't.
It's a little detail. This guy's eating all the food. I mean, the artwork is always good. Yeah, Green. I think Green, you DM'd me just because you were unsure, and I don't blame you for being sure who's a knocker and who isn't. I would say all of Mizuha's family unit is all just back to normal. That's why she's having questions about forgiving the grandfather, and I'm glad she got over the whole stabbing thing. That's
yep.
I mean, so much of the message of this stretch of the manga is yes, people are shitty, but everyone is shitty. And if you want to be able to survive, it might be in your best interest to learn to live with people's weirdness and forgive them. That was the whole Memori arc. And just be instead of trying to change and fix stuff, maybe just learning how to be comfortable with it might be the easier option for you, which is a weird message, but I'm glad that there's something that even has that as a message, because it's probably more useful.
Life goes on.
I mean, Foss tried to change everything, and look what it got her. Yeah, this is just a silly, almost comedy section with the janitor coming in.
But it is interesting. We're in a section. Is Fushi going to become God? That's really the question.
Yeah, what did you think of this overall? Did you like this stretch more than the last one, you guys, or?
More than the last one, but the literal last chunk we covered in this show was probably the worst stretch we've had of To Your Eternity in a while. That's not saying
in the modern era, at least.
But it was very
arc. Yeah,
it was very road. It was very To Your Eternity de jure kind of.
I get what you're saying.
I consider this to be just part of the previous section, and I think I previously said that I don't like this stretch very much.
I think this
I
part
don't find it painful.
has better
I just
stuff
don't.
than
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
There's better stuff.
What do you guys think of like the whole Knocker Yuki thing? Like,
I mean, I think it's fine. But of course I still don't understand. Like the stuff we don't know is what if the Knockers have any plan or what their plan might be. It's just we just don't know.
The Knockers come off as very kind of bumbling in this part where it almost seems like back on their home world or wherever it is that they fucking exist in heaven or whatever, they almost just like they're kind of like the Lunarians, like they're just like try anything, and they kind of just like listen to other Knockers if the other Knocker just seems kind of to know a bit what he's talking about. Like there's some more go-getting ambitious Knockers, and then there's just some crazy Knockers, and then there's just Knockers who do what they're told and just do it for the hell of it, and they're very easy to convince, like Nono/Michi here. That sounded weird saying.
I mean, Also, the little section where the Man in Black basically admits, oh yeah, I could basically solve this whole problem on my own, but it just wouldn't be fun.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, the stakes are now low, basically.
Well,
or were low.
That makes sense with the stuff My favorite stuff in this arc is with the Man in Black. Like, I'll get into it later, but like I do enjoy all that stuff about how he basically... how he could have solved so many of the show's problems and done everything from the start, but his whole point is just that he isn't here to do that. Like, he built this as a sort of self-propelling mechanism, and he wants to observe it, and it would be pointless to him if he interfered. That's like going into the cheat engine and beating a game or giving yourself like stats. Like, that's no fun because you ruin the game immediately.
And we see that he's like very enamored the idea of death or
my
finality.
favorite. That's one of my favorite lines in the entire manga, if not there, is when he says, when Fushi confronts him about why, if he could make stuff immortal, why didn't he? And why does he cause all the suffering? And he said, but it's really interesting because he doesn't say it. A normal approach would be like, to give things meaning and to make like your life more interesting and valuable. But he doesn't say that. I love how he says, to me that was perfect. Like it's not that he didn't do it on purpose. It's like he didn't consider it necessary. Like he thought there was beauty, and he thought already what he had created was wonderful enough that he didn't see the need to make it immortal, which is really much more interesting to me.
Or to make it perfect. It's
like he saw it as perfect. To him that was perfection.
The Japanese philosophy, I forgot the name, wabi-sabi, I think it is, which is
like beauty and the imperfection of things. Yes. And that's a very like the way he's shown constructing the universe is him at like an artist or craftsman desk, kind of like in Spirit Circle. But what I like about that is that is a very like artist approach to things too. Like, why didn't you draw this a certain way? Why didn't you make this a certain way? Why didn't you add this? Why didn't you do that? It's like, well, to me, it was already, what I had made was already perfect. Like, I liked it how it was, so I didn't think it needed anything else. I didn't think it needed fixing. I really love that.
Actually, the most interesting deal to me in the stretch is that there are multiple gods technically.
Yes,
it's just maybe the only god we have seen.
We don't know what all the others are been up to. Did they go and make their own worlds? Did they just live in space?
It kind of seems like he was just spawned from the primordial chaos, where he was out in infinity, and there's an infinite number of things like him, and just some of them randomly decide to become people and some of them don't. I mean, fair enough.
I mean, we don't even know if that's like become people. Like, for all we know, he kind of invented the concept of a human. Like the way he forms himself into what we would recognize as a human, while other people form themselves into different kinds of animals. That just implies that like a bunch of them came up with different life forms. Maybe a bunch of them came up with other sentient ones that look like aliens and stuff. Like, we don't know, because everything on the planet was made by him. Like, there is no idea of a human without him. He invented it.
Which makes it even stranger to think about the Knockers, like where they came from, who made them.
Well, it doesn't. I always thought I always thought he made the knockers too, but like accidentally. Like the same way, like I don't think he crafted people per se exactly. I think he more made a world and like humans spawned on it almost. Or maybe he made the humans too, but he doesn't like I think knockers were a miscalculation on his part because he understands Phi and he knows where it goes and he can like easily eradicate knockers. I think knockers are just another like side effect of his creation that are just mad at him the same way many humans are. Like if he wanted to, he could just destroy them all, like as he could with the rest of the world. He just sees it as more of the fun, like, oh, look at that, I didn't count on knockers appearing.
Sure if he could like destroy the
Phi
in their like in their home state, but he says that he has like total control the physical stuff.
Yeah,
so
the
if
question,
they incarnate, he can just
he says physical matter is stronger than Phi in this reality, and remember he like sent himself down here as part of like the fun. Like we don't understand. He probably exists on another slice of reality. It's unclear whether the heaven that the knockers go to is inside of the thing he constructed or if it's outside of it.
That's
the real question. And that was very biblical too, like God sending Jesus to earth, like him sending it, like giving himself a form, and Fushi is sort of like a surrogate for that too. Like that was very like, I wish to be amongst the humans I have made. Let's see how that goes. Sorry, Green.
I was gonna say, I mean, my knowledge of Gnosticism is not great, but I think it's kind of a thing where the man in black is like the demiurge, basically, where it's like I think it's more that just like the baseline reality of what reality is this like infinite expanse of mind and spirit that has no boundaries, and it's just everything going on at all times, just like crazy fractal infinity world.
Exactly.
And he created a limited world that doesn't have that, and we're just kind of trapped in there. And I don't even think it's necessarily he created knockers. It's just like infinite spirit world is the baseline reality of this universe, and unless you actively like prevent things from coming in, like it just leaks in. Like I think the knockers are probably just like eternal spirit creatures like human souls are, and it's just unless you like really unless you lock the door really tightly, them slipping in is just inevitable, because I think
Jaws was wondering if knockers maybe they're like the pet project of some other of like these primordial creatures or something, something like that.
Just if they were created by this god or if they are from.
I thought that they were more just the side effect of his, but anything is possible. Also, again, we don't know, like, all these initial life forms, were they created by someone? Maybe someone, some higher up god form got bored and said, I'll make a black expanse with a bunch of... And he says that. He says, like, you can make a world where every creature can turn into whatever they want and have infinite lives and be immutable, but if you want to, you do that, Fushi. Like, I believe you can do it, and... that's kind of his like thing, so that kind of turns into the whole eating itself thing.
We also got told the origin of the people.
That's right. They were like an experiment. That's very Tolkien, like Eru Luvatar making the dwarves to like how like the non-human races in Tolkien are almost made as like fun experiments by the god, like being like, I'm gonna try something really different and like specific this time, like I'm gonna make these guys be like this specific thing, but then they always have like their weird drawbacks, and then humans are always the favorite because they're like the simplest one, but because they're made just to exist almost, they end up being the most interesting because they have no other purpose. That is cool. I like all the Yuki stuff is interesting. I like his attitude of like being infected with knockers and not wanting them out and just living with like a ticking time bomb, presumably.
And then he invents an anti-knock.
Yes.
Later in his life.
We'll get into that.
I'm slightly curious why he needed to do that if getting the knockers to be friends was the whole idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure something went wrong, or it's more complicated than that.
I assume it's just that other people worried about it, and so
we'll get
into the future of him and Mizuha in the next part.
Okay. Oh, Mizuha's still around. Yay! Yeah, I was gonna say it is sad that Big Tits shows up and she realizes, oh no, she doesn't come back. No.
And she still slaps Fushi. Like
she punches Fushi in the fucking face really hard, throws him down.
Yeah. And well, she does learn that her younger siblings are alien abomination.
That was a weird reaction because and she realizes
she takes it pretty well.
Her real sister, well, she sees her being scared of the thunder, and that still gives her like idea that they're still somewhat human. But then she still is like leaving out kind of like she has sort of like a shrine to her, to like what would be the soul of her real sister, sort of at the end, where she's like praying in front of pictures of her. This segment here really, I like this segment a lot, where he kind of has to consider like, how all of his immortal friends have like people that they liked who are gone forever, and maybe he could bring them back and he could meet the guy we don't know the name of, but then he's like, damn, maybe I would become like an unfeeling god too. And yeah, that was an interesting part where like that's why the Man in Black says like, I didn't give you the powers from the start, because then you would have like no emotional attachment to this world. Like I wanted you to be able to experience life. And then that kind of comes to a head on one of the best bits, where March is like yelling. I love that bit where March is like yelling at him because he just like is like, I'm fucking off. I'm gonna just lose all memory. Shout out to middle school memory here. She's got long hair. How
at least
cute.
At least he admits that he never really did anything for Fushi.
Yeah, but then Fushi says that he like led him to friends and stuff. I mean, that's true. He did. I mean, he's the closest thing Fushi has to a parent. That's just not something you can change. So yeah, what do you?
I mean, if we don't consider March,
it's
well,
crazy.
yeah, okay. March is like the mom, but he's like the dad. He's like distant, but he taught him stuff, kind of.
Yeah, it's Marge is like the stepmom. I don't know.
No, she's like the real mom.
It's crazy that when Man in Black shows up, like one of the quick answers you could come up with is like, oh, I guess he's like God or something. Then you're like, oh no, that's silly. Oh look, he's doing all this weird stuff. He doesn't know everything. He's not God. Then at the end, he's like, oh, I created everything. It's like, oh fuck, he is God.
What do you think?
I think this manga is as close as a Japanese person can ever come to like believing in God. Perhaps.
Maybe. Yeah,
maybe.
I was gonna. Okay, Green. What I was looking forward to this stretch is I really wanted to know what you would think of the Mizuha send off. How do you feel? What are your thoughts?
I was fine with it.
You keep saying that to everything.
Okay. I mean, I didn't have super strong feelings about anything in this stretch.
Mizuha,
where
don't you?
Well, yeah, I liked her. I liked seeing her. I did think for a moment there was going to be a frame of her like kissing Fushi.
I wish
during the eye close thing, and maybe you could choose to believe.
I think she did. No, I think she did, but I wanted a drawing of it. Yeah, no, I definitely think she kissed him, but I wanted them to have sex. Goddammit, not now, but like earlier on, it seemed because of all the talk.
Then Tonari shows up.
Before we had the giant time skip in real life, a lot of like the impetus of the early Mizuha stuff is it seems like it might be the first time that Fushi has like a romantic relationship, because there's stuff about like, love and having babies and a turtle thing and stuff. So it seemed like Mizuha was like his first real romance, but then it doesn't happen. She just leaves.
I mean, for a moment, the guy ancestor, it seemed like he might be making progress, but
they tease us with like on one of the manga covers, she's like in a bridal gown and she's like with him, and then there's like when she has like her dream sequence when she dies from falling off the thing and crushed, she's like holding a Fushi baby, but then it just goes. I mean, they'll be connected forever, I guess, because Fushi is like the fucking planet.
Yeah.
But
by the way, when Tonari was on the back of that motorcycle, for a moment I wonder if they were implying that she was dating.
Yeah, I thought that as well. So
almost. Do you like the one? Do you like the bit where Tonari's like she can't get in her school uniform because her ass is too fat? Yeah.
Yeah, everyone. Although she's already went through a life, I guess she was probably starving a lot in that life.
That's true. I do like the Yeah, we got some like extra stuff. Like we got some cool like character stuff. Like Gugu comes back. Iddy's like learn how to read. The guy gets his baker license. I like how March managed to make friends in school after all, and is like having sleepovers. Like that stuff's all cute. It's
never gets a man though.
It is. It was. I think this is the right point to stop. Though I'm glad we're skipping to another scene because it was getting old. The never gets a man in this life cycle. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Old March is funny that she looks exactly the same. She's just got
this is the thing. Those like many of the characters look very much the same, even like 4 years later.
Yeah. Well, they changed their hairstyles and stuff at least. Yeah.
I think the implication with Marge is she looked like a normal woman in her middle age.
Yes,
then
the joke.
She shrunk into an old lady.
Later,
because we saw her on a cover of that volume a while ago.
Yes, we do see more of that stuff later, but I won't spoil anything.
Okay.
That's just like a joke. Delicious
and dungeon-ass world building.
We have multiple characters, like Talfushi, just like. Because he's always like wondering, like, should I keep bringing you back to life? Aren't you like sad? Don't you want to like go see your loved ones in heaven or whatever? But then we get like a few of them just say like, I don't want my life to end with death. You know, like keep bringing me back for the foreseeable future. I mean, they can always like nope out of the whole thing. Like, you know, next loop they can say like. When they're dying naturally, they can say, like, Fushi, I don't want you to bring me back after this one. And he'll be like, okay.
I mean, it is, given how they look at the very end, it seems like all of them have died and have just been revived in the form that we know them.
They all die eventually. Yeah. Like, you know.
No, I just mean that he brought pretty much all of them back.
Oh, yeah. These one, this time, but we don't know for how long that will last. Like, eventually one of them might just be like, eh. I mean, like at this point, they might just hang around because they've had so many. Like they've had their like life they wanted to. Like Gugu went off and did the thing. Like the guys had like kids and stuff in certain lives. Like there's been. Yeah, things.
I'm wondering how many people are going to hang around or come back to some degree because it seems like they're going to do a thing where people gradually drop off, but it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have a sudden exodus where we start with a brand new cast at this point.
I like the sky triangle.
I'm very surprised. Oh yeah, I'm not. I like the drawings in general in those few pages. They look. Yeah, what I was going to say is I'm surprised that we get the Konata doll back again.
Yes.
that was an interesting.
Forgotten about her, hadn't you?
the sack of rotten flesh that the princess turned into. And
one funny thing I like about this triangle is this looks like a mangaka rendition of a unicorn jelly panel. Like in Diane Wright's Unicorn Jelly webcomic, she has these world plates that are also giant triangles you can see like floating around the sky, so it looks like that. But she better go. Dang, what is she gonna do in volume 20? Also, she can talk. Apparently. Dang, I hope you guys are ready for Futurama. Okay.
I hope so.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
We shall see. Anyways, yeah, we've got a new manga called Bokurano or Hours.
I'm surprised that Green chose this, given that has not been that long since you.
Yeah. And
well,
me and Green
you haven't read
it. Yeah.
I've watched the anime. I don't know where the cutoff point is, where the anime turns into anime.
If you watch the anime again and look for the point, you'll probably notice it. It's a very sudden change in tone, and they introduce a bunch of new characters.
Yeah.
The difference is at some.
There's a lot of differences just here, actually.
The differences between the anime and the manga probably will come up while we're talking about this.
They should come up immediately. All the robot enemies are different than in the anime, for starters.
Yeah,
and Zerth's design is different too.
Yeah, that's what I picked up. Like I was thinking, did the robot look? Was this insectoid? I mean, I like it. I liked the designs in this. It's the best part in terms of art for the manga.
Agreed.
So I was thinking.
I like how both versions of Zerth keep the high heels, which is probably the most interesting design thing.
I like both versions.
But anime Zerth, his head is very hunched and kind of crowded into his neck. Yeah. Where this Zerth, he looks more like an Eva. Like he has the big face plate with the eyes.
This Zerth has like a big thing over his head, and the thing is, the manga Zerth changes a bit throughout the manga too, and anime Zerth has much shorter arms. Like anime Zerth has like normal length arms with like the claw hand. This one has like big, almost like a tentacle spike arm, but then it like opens up. Yeah, but then it opens up into a claw when he needs it. Yeah, it changes right away because I don't think I've read the very beginning, or if I did ages ago. Because when I went to read it the recent time, I just went back to like the third kid and then kept reading from there, I think. One funny change here immediately is that Chizuru is just dressed normally. In the anime, she's wearing a bathing suit, and so are most of the girls. And there's like a weird panel. There's like a shot of the guys like looking at her butt, and that's like foreshadowing. I'm fine with both approaches.
It's Chizuru. We'll talk when we get there, but
yeah,
I'm already looking for things with Chizuru, because she's the character where I think the anime original stuff is probably the best. Where most of especially the later changes are just horrible, but I actually legitimately like what they did with Chizuru.
A lot of the early changes are just kind of petty and unnecessary. Like one simple one is just the dung beetle is a lot larger in the anime for some reason. In the anime, dung beetle is about the size of someone's head. Here, in many panels, he is about the size of someone's hand, and he like flits around much easier. I don't know why they changed that, but I'm fine with it either way. That's the thing. Like so many of or like the thing that he signs the contract with. In this, it's just like a panel he holds. In the manga, the anime, they like stretched it out so it's like a podium with the same shape. Like I don't understand. It's all they seem very like petty and just like for the sake of being different. Like I don't understand. Just make it like the manga. But of course, the director hated the mangaka and said "fuck you" for like no reason.
I think a lot of the changes are understandable. I mean, making it a podium instead of a plate. It's like that's something that like the average person will more readily recognize it as like part of a game or a ceremony or something. Like it's not a big deal either way. Like they could have kept the plate and it would have been fine.
I'm just questioning like why do it anyway? Like why change such why make it a grotto instead of a cave? Like it's that doesn't really matter. That's like giving yourself extra work. That's all.
Yeah.
But okay, the kids do the contract. I guess we'll get into it, but like the art style is very interesting to me because it is. How do I say this? It's not like I don't like super love it, but I'm perfectly fine with it because I like the contrast how the humans are drawn very sketchily. Almost like they're these just kind of like almost like pencil drawings of people, and that's not really like the main focus, and everyone is colored very simply with just like solid blacks and a bit of screen tone. But then the mech scenes and the destruction of the environments and the weapons and stuff is sometimes drawn incredibly detailed. Like I like that. I like that like just contrast right there because it's nothing to do with like technical skill or something. It's clearly just a deliberate choice of being like. The story isn't super about like character art and anatomy and like crazy panels of people. It's a very much like it reminds me a lot of like a Naoki Urasawa manga. Like there was a like
that's a good comparison.
Like there's a manben I watched where he was drawing Billy Bat at the beginning, and it's like a scene of like two army guys like who have both like stepped on landmines and are like pointing guns at each other like talking, and most of the panels are just their faces with no backgrounds, like a lot of panels in Bokurano are. And he mentions how a lot of people use the term talking head manga like as a derogative, like as something that doesn't have a lot of artistic value and stuff, but and that is kind of lazy. But he says what he thinks is as long as the faces that are being drawn are always like different and express emotion and what they're saying matters, then that's fine. And I agree with this too. Like what matters is the dialogue and the drama going between the characters, the fact that they're drawn kind of like slapdash and sketchily is perfectly fine. And then you get amazing 2-page spreads like this one. I gotta say that right off the bat, like Zerth is my favorite mech design ever. I think he's so fucking awesome. Like I cannot say every single panel he's in, I just love everything. I love the shape, I love the size, I love the fucking imposing color and the silhouette he cuts. I love his fucking face. It's so fucking awesome with the lights and shit. Oh god, it's so cool.
One aspect that's funny about that with the designs, it's hilarious how unfair reality is, where some worlds, they just get much better.
Yes.
Yeah, like some teams just get much better robots than others.
I was thinking that when Dung Beetle says, like, you were lucky, like, you got a really strong one. And it's like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like later we'll see one where it's almost like a giant can opener that has to, like, clamp onto the other robot.
Oh, yeah.
But Zerth has all these different weapons, and it has massive lasers that have infinite range and can blow through mountains, and it's... Yeah, life is unfair. Like, that's the point of Bokurano. Life is fucking unfair. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Part of why I... Oh, yes, Jaws.
No, you go first, and I will.
I was going to say, part of why I chose to end here, because, I mean, we're not there yet, but I'll just say the first two fights kind of work as, like, an intro arc, because it's the point in the story where the kids don't really understand what's going on yet. Because we'll get there. After the first fight, a kid just randomly falls off of Zerth, but it looks like, June was shoving him a little bit, and they think maybe he pushed him off by accident or on purpose. It's not until the second kid dies that they realize that dying is part of this, and the actual stakes are established. So I always find the intro just a little interesting, because you see them... responding to it as if this is not serious business yet. They don't really understand what they've gotten into.
I agree. Sorry, I'm having issues. I'm having issues loading stuff, apparently. I was gonna say, these two are the kids who have, like, kind of the least going on, but they're still like fine, but they're not, like, super interesting. But they work as good basic kind of idea of, like, these are just kids who have, like, slightly interesting ideas about the world and have stuff going on in their life. One
thing I think that Bokurano does with its characters that it's interesting. Like, I found it very interesting when I watched it the first time, that because the first kid who fights is just sports kid who wants the best. He loves to play soccer. He beats the enemy by yelling, "I am a soccer player," and kicking his severed arm at the enemy. It's all good fun. The second kid is the one you see playing with the airsoft pistol in the OP, where he's like a weird social Darwinist. He's just a mean little prick that talks about how some people are just better than others, and some people are just meant to die and some aren't. And I found it really surprising in the opening or watching the anime the first time that he's the second person, because you think that, like, one of the most extreme personalities will hang around for a bit because there's more for him to do.
Yeah.
But I think Bokurano is very clever, where it kills some of the most conspicuously odd kids early, and then that gives you time to slowly tease out the nuances and some of the less obvious ones. Yeah. And they're all interesting in their own way. It's just, the ones who stand out can be killed immediately, and that gives you time to set up the ones that need more context.
The anime does change around the order of the kids quite a bit too, beginning with about the fifth one, I think.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, and it also changes. I forgot totally that the anime gives them, like, different, like, body marks, like a tattoo, which the manga doesn't do at all.
I forgot
for marking.
Remember that.
Like this guy.
It's been ages since I watched that.
Is, like, marked, for example. I don't know. Again, there seem like needless changes. Then they meet Kyubey.
It is weird how watching Madoka first, you realize, he is just Kyubey.
Well, yeah, I mean, the other way around, obviously. Yeah,
cute, and he doesn't.
No, yeah, and I always thought it was hook, line, and sinker. Like, I think Kyubey's, like, color and design is absolutely riffing on Dung Beetle, but Dung Beetle is just a huge asshole, and it's really funny. I love when they ask him, they're like, "It's not going to be dangerous," and he's like, "Okay, question time is over." Turns around, and he slices the girl's, like, controller, and he pulls in girl who wants to be a celebrity. He pulls her in while she's masturbating, which is really funny. And she's like embarrassed about it, like mid thing, and he's like, "Oh, sorry." He totally knew what she was doing, which is funny. Yeah. Yeah,
well, he heavily implies he's watching them at all times.
Yes, he implies.
Which they're a little weirded out
yes,
by.
he's watching them at all times, and he can just teleport people. And he also is an asshole who doesn't mention that you die when you pilot the robot. Because
to be fair, he does say that Kokopelli was supposed to tell them that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, Kokopelli is odd. Knowing what I know, reading this was very interesting, having already read the manga, because there are so many little cues and hints at what the situation really is. Like I was paying a lot of attention about the contract situation, and the chairs was very interesting to me. The chairs was very odd.
What I was going to say, one thing that I just sort of had to like think back on after I read the first stretch was when we see Pelli look at the chairs before he dies, basically, or we don't see him again anymore. And when we then see the kids' chairs, I realized they're different. And for some reason, I had completely forgotten that the first chairs that we see are, well, basically the ones of Kokopelli's comrades, and not the children's.
That's right. And they have that with Zerth's face. Zerth's face looks different in this panel, and he only has one light because Kokopelli is the only pilot left.
Yeah.
Then it has left. Then it has the 14 or the 15.
14 lights.
Yeah. And then it loses one when the guy falls off of the Waku falls off. It loses one, which is really cool. Yeah, I really like this drawing.
It also
the missile here. It looks really cool.
I mean, we'll get into it more later, but it's so funny that the OP, which is great, ends with Kokopelli holding the earth in his hands as everything's glowing, and he really doesn't come off as like a master manipulator in the manga.
What's even weirder is Kokopelli is more important in the manga, and he's not that important in the anime. They completely retcon the entire ending and everything to do with him, so he doesn't even ever come up again, and yet he gets the end stinger uninstall part, which makes it even weirder. I like how this is handled a lot, where he doesn't tell them too much, but he's also not being like weird about it. Like, they just mention he's from another world, and he just teaches them the basics of Bokurano combat, where you kick the shit out of stuff and you rip their core out and shoot lasers around, and luckily they get like a really weak one. Yes, this looks really cool. This is totally like the designs of the monsters are very, like you said, like Ava inspired, obviously, and this is obviously a very Ava inspired thing. Like I would class this in the post Ava mech genre, similar to a lot of things like Razafon and stuff. But I like you said, they're very insectoid as well, and very unsettling in an odd way. One of my favorite things about it is just how massive they are. Like Bokurano, yes, and that's also clever foreshadowing. Why that guy knows that it's 500 meters, and the guy asks him, and he says, "Don't worry about it." That's like a little cute bit of foreshadowing for later. There's a lot of like hinting and foreshadowing here, if you know. But yeah, I love how massive they are, that it just doesn't even become like a question of like, if you're just near populations, like you can't move without killing hundreds of people. Like there's just a scarily massive and imposing. It's a really cool dynamic. Like because you might think of like other manga and anime might make like the homeboy robot like seem kind of like heroic and like, it could be like Gurren Lagann, where he's like not that huge and he's all red and cool and like, it's like a superhero, right? Like Power Rangers. But no, like Zerth is an incredibly scary, daunting creature who is as much of a threat to the environment as the opponent mech, depending on who pilots it. And when Sociopath Kid is fighting, he's walking through the city, exactly,
and it's not even a question of avoiding people entirely. It's like, well, you could at least step where there's fewer people, like on a park or something, as opposed to just trudging indiscriminately and accidentally crushing your own father, which is. That was just funny.
Well, he's totally he's totally full of shit. Like the kid is giving like he's like coming up with like all the arguments you would come up with, where it's like, it's unavoidable. Do you expect me to fight moving, saving 10 billion people? It's by killing 10,000. I think that's a fair trade-off, like all the stuff. But then he's thinking to himself like, oh, these people are fated to die, and they're the non-chosen, like Waku, and they're trash to me. So it's like, you're full of shit. That's an interesting detail too. 10 billion people, because this is set in like the near future, and the tech is weird. Like there's the Homer Simpson bubble helicopter here. So it's like supposed to be. I don't think they ever say the date, but I think it's supposed to be like the 2040s or something, where it's like things are a bit more advanced. Like we have like laser technology and like slightly more advanced stuff like that. But then cell phones are still flip phones, so it's hard to predict stuff in 2002 or whatever the fuck.
Even them assuming that the population was going to keep going up is kind of a dated thing in itself.
Yeah. Good point. Gosh, I love the lasers so much. They're so...
I don't. Like,
I like how they're drawn.
On the art, I think they lack impact.
I think that's the point of them. Like, they're supposed to be like... The lasers almost never do anything super useful. They're almost just like a testing volley. But the fact that they can just like wipe out a mountain, and later they use that as like a clever plot device, and the fact I love that Zerth is just like decked out with laser shooters everywhere. Like he doesn't even move. Like it's not like a super cool like. That's what I like about it. How uneventful it is. Zerth shooting lasers. Like it's not like he puts his arm together and goes rah, big laser, and that's what the guy is trying to shout. Like he's like rah, fire laser attack, and then just like a bunch of pew-pews come out of him just like randomly. Like it's not a big deal. Like he's just equipped with world-ending cataclysmic death lasers, but he just fires them off like he's taking a piss. Like I like that. I think it's cool.
And the other thing I was going to say about the art, I am of the opinion that the manga is not great at showing motion, like most images that like this one, for instance. Like that are supposed to convey motion feel very static, and often he doesn't. I mean, maybe you I don't know much about it, but he doesn't use, or she, I made this.
I think it's he
uses like speed lines, rather sometimes these generalized speed lines, which you can see right now.
Yeah, no, I think you're making a good point.
Most of it just looks very static.
He has the kind of the I always think of it as like the Berserk problem, where like Berserk is really good at having impact and having like follow through and like final panels, but generally the way Miura generally skips complicated actions and the in-between drawings of complicated actions. Generally you just get like a drawing of Guts swinging a sword with a bit of motion line, and then you see the aftermath where he's already cut through people and you see a bunch of body parts flying around. Like often that's a criticism people have normally of Berserk, very rarely for the artwork, is that it can feel like a bit stiff, where like the motion doesn't feel great compared to something like stuff I would say has like amazing motion would be like Soul Eater or Dan to Dan and stuff like that, where you understand perfectly every movement. It's almost like film in the way they're moved. Yeah, I agree. I was a bit confused during this section. It was just for a brief moment, but it could be better, where like here I couldn't tell if he had like chucked the arm into the air and then kicked it, but then I had to go back and be like, oh right, this or like this panel here, like you, aside from the color, you could not know if this is the enemy vessel about to fly against them or if it's his foot being launched. And then here he doesn't even show, like, not that you always need speed lines, like there is a certain impact just being given in like the, this is like the moment where the impact happened and stuff, but it can take you a second to understand. I think he gets a lot better about that later on.
I mean, I have less of a problem with understanding it. I understand it. I just don't think it looks amazing in those scenes.
I mean, I don't think it's an amazing looking manga. I think it has a very strong layouts, and it has some really striking panels and stuff. Like that panel earlier on of like them, where he says like, "Oh, sign the contract," and they're like all he like manages to put all their faces in all like slightly different angles, or like this one looks pretty cool. I think he sees it more as like, I don't know how I guess I would say it like a workman thing, where he he like understands where the big impacts need to be and where the real work and the artwork needs to be put, and then everything in between he kind of draws very quickly to get the chapter out, and it's just detailed enough. I think it's very like mercenary in that way almost.
And earlier you talked about the Talking Heads manga style with no backgrounds. Yeah. And I have to just think about the cockpit. Like, how convenient is it that the cockpit of the robot is almost completely white and has only the chairs in it? So you don't have to draw any machinery.
That's fine. I don't think it would be improved by having a bunch of weird machinery. I mean, Ava does that too.
I personally am not really much of a fan of the white backgrounds, but yeah, that's just me.
I mean, they're okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess if we could have had really amazing backgrounds, then that would be cool. But
yeah, because I think the best page art-wise is the scene at the end of the second Kids, where the robot just stands there next to the destroyed house.
Yeah,
like that's probably the best that it looks.
He puts a lot of detail again, like when he thinks it's necessary. Like right here, he just wants you to pay attention to the like school shooter kids
to the monologue.
Yeah, to his like monologuing and the characters and stuff. And it's like, and it doesn't matter that much because they're all going to be dead in a chapter. So it's like, yeah, he puts a lot of work into stuff when it's necessary. Like I said, it's like a very like calculated mercenary way of making a manga, which I don't think it's bad. It's just different. And yeah, this thing looks so fucking cool. That's totally like looks like an angel from Ava just like shows up. Again, this robot in the anime, this robot is a cylinder who rolls and causes way more destruction than Zerth could. I think that's kind of mixes the message a bit. I quite like it being. I quite like that the combat becomes like him with a wrecking ball, where even when he's finally beating the thing, he's still smashing into the ground and killing loads of people. Yeah, great banter here. I mean, like Green said, this is a good stopping point, Green. I'm glad you chose these first two because this is where it becomes like, the first one was just like kind of, oh, this is a new toy. Let's see how we move it and how it attacks and how mysterious he died. Then the second one is being like, you probably are going to have to kill people even if it's by accident. Also, every time Zerth falls down, it's like the greatest massacre in human history. The Dung Beetle just says, you better pray they evacuated already. And it's like, how far and how fast do you think people can evacuate when the robots literally just appear like out of nowhere? Like, I mean, that is one of the most satisfying things about the manga is how a lot of manga like this would hand wave like the opinions of like the public and stuff. In Bokurano, that's almost the entire point. Like the more and more it goes, like more and more complication is given to what the media and the government and everyone's families and there is no like fantastical like, oh, everyone's memories get erased, or oh, they don't notice, like they notice the kids vanishing. They're like, where the fuck did the kids go? We have to evacuate, and they appear in their seated positions and fall over and shit. Like it's very like, despite how sci-fi it is, it's super realistic in its depictions of everything else. Like, there's guys like running autopsies on Waku's fucking corpse and shit. There's the military's like, what the fuck? These robots keep coming in. We have to research them and throw missiles at them. That is a bit part of the appeal, is just seeing like what would happen in Japan if two giant robots showed up and started fighting.
One interesting part about the writing that I noticed is how sparse in terms of like information these first chapters are. It's like the opposite of dense. Like I'm given that they're like different ways people tell their stories. Like some people front load a lot of information, others just download out at the same speed, and others just like back ended. And it's just interesting how
it's good
stuff there is in this.
It becomes more satisfying when you get to the big reveals, because most of the stuff that the kids are not being told is like, it makes sense for the characters to keep back. Like when you know more about Kokopelli or Dung Beetle, it makes total sense what they chose to say and chose not to say. And also, I like how specifically, and I think Kokopelli did this on purpose, I don't think that's a spoiler, how specifically it's a bunch of kids, because they also have like incentive to keep it hidden from their parents. Like they have many different personal reasons for doing that, but I like how the initial one is just like, oh, the adults will come in and take our toy away from us kind of thing. You know, like I like that a lot, because that's a very selfish but middle schooler reason not to do something. Like they're taking it seriously as best they can, but ultimately they're kids and they also don't understand the ramification of a lot of what they're doing. Yeah, I like that a lot, and it makes it a really satisfying, like, intriguing mystery. Like, what will happen? You know, what happens at the end if they win? What if they die? What if, you know, what does it mean? What are the other robots? You know, are they piloted by someone? Who knows? You know, all this stuff. Then it's so oh man, it's so it's so fucked how the other guy just like kills his dad and then just like collapses fucking dead, and it's just like, oh. And Doug Beetle's like, yeah, okay, maybe the people die, you know, whatever. And they try and beat him up, and he's like, I'm a silly dung beetle. You made a deal, hee hee.
in the anime, he's voiced by the same guy who does Gaara.
Oh, yes.
I noticed that back then. Like, I don't know how many years it's been.
Oh, this is the drawing you were talking about? Yeah, I love how... Yeah, I like that, too. Yeah. Like, Zerth is so, like, personality-less. Like, he's just like almost like a building. When people stop piloting him, he just like stands there ominously towering over the skyscrapers, just like, yep, I'm here, I guess. Very cool. Green, do you have anything cool, you think?
Nope, don't think so.
Okay, well, I guess we're done then. It's a pretty short stretch, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like I checked how long Bokurano's, and it's pretty short. I thought it would be a bit longer. And
I think some of the chapters might get a bit meatier.
Yeah, was this weekly or monthly? Like the chapters for now.
I think it was monthly. Length. I'm quite sure it was monthly, but don't quote me on that. I'll do some more research some point. This mangaka has a few other mangas, and then he kind of stopped making manga around like the 2010s. I've been very curious to read his other stuff, because this is his only one that was like successful. He reminds me again of like the Dan to Dan guy. Like the Dan to Dan guy also had like many manga he did and worked as an assistant for a long time before he had one that was like a hit. And not that Bokurano was a hit nearly as big as Dan to Dan has been, but I'm very curious to see like what their other works before and after were. So maybe I'll check those out in between sessions. Very cool. All good manga. To Eternity is going to go into a different stretch. I don't know what the fuck is happening in Land of the Lustrous, and Bokurano is just going to get better and better and better. I can say.
Oh, I just checked on Wikipedia. He's the guy who did the Narutaru manga.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I tried to read that one a long time ago.
Oh, cool.
Didn't get far.
Well, shall we sign off then? What do you guys think?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone. See you next week. Bye.